I don't really get too starstruck from people, and that was like a moment that I was like I knew I was going to meet him when I was coming to the game, and that's like one of my idols. Like, LeBron is the GOAT to me, so.
To the typical fan, everything appears picture perfect. Caitlin Clark, the WNBA's most exciting rookie in years, is lighting up arenas, selling out tickets, and smashing television ratings in her maiden professional season. Behind the loud crowds and viral highlight tapes, however, is a more difficult fact to detect: a relationship that is gradually disintegrating at the margins. Clark's tenure with the Indiana Fever has never been solely about basketball. From the day she was picked, she became the focal point of a league change, the player expected to usher in a new era for the WNBA. While the spotlight has never left her, there has been a lack of alignment, support, and respect from the institution she represents. This is not just a matter of rookie irritation, it's a case study in mismanagement. Public remarks have shown deeper frustrations. Behind-the-scenes rumors point to something much more intricate, and those who are paying attention, fans, insiders, and agents, are beginning to see the connections. Today, we'll look at why Caitlin Clark could be considering leaving Indiana. She's not leaving because she wants to, but because the system forces her to. This is the unseen fight under the surface, and it serves as a warning to any club that believes generational brilliance can be contained. Initially, it appeared to be a rookie adjustment. Caitlin Clark, noted for her quickness, fearless range, and unparalleled court vision, was significantly off in Indiana's offensive strategy. But what fans dismissed as growing pains was actually a symptom of something deeper. Clark openly expressed her worries at a time when the Fever's front office should have been on high alert. "We need to do a better job getting me the ball in transition," she told me. On the surface, it seemed like a helpful critique. But in professional sports, a remark like that from your best player means, "The system is flawed, and it's holding me back." Rather than adjusting, Indiana doubled down. Coach Stephanie White explained her tactic by stating that the club required 2 primary ball handlers to alleviate full-court pressure on Clark. However, what appears to be a tactical move has resulted in the limitation of her most lethal weapon: open court domination. The anarchy in which she flourished at Iowa has been methodically eliminated from her professional game. Imagine developing your whole brand as a fast-break menace capable of draining logo trees in real time, only to be ordered to sit in the corner as a slower system grinds on. For Clark, this is more than simply a tactical dispute. It's an identity dilemma caused by an organization terrified of letting its star shine too brightly. And for a player who was brought in to lead rather than follow, such tension does more than hurt egos. It accelerates exits. Then followed the injury, which added another layer of anxiety. Clark was noticeably uncomfortable during a game earlier this season due to a groin injury. The video went viral, showing players wincing in the middle of the game, favoring one side and attempting to tough it out while plainly being under par. It was not subtle. Fans noticed. Reporters noticed. Even the opposition bench seemed apprehensive. But when confronted about it after the game, Coach White responded with frightening indifference. "She's just feeling a little something," she remarked, dismissing it like a twisted ankle in a pickup game. That remark, "a little something," reverberated across the WNBA community. Because you don't minimize the anguish of the player who is essentially carrying your team's future. You don't downplay the discomfort of someone who is producing millions in ticket sales, merchandising, and national viewership. Unless, of course, you don't consider her a partner. You view her as a product. And this is when the separation becomes unavoidable. The ailment was more than simply physical strain. It was also about emotional estrangement. The lack of a formal update, the lack of public concern from the organization, and the failure to prioritize her long-term health all pointed to a widening schism in how the Fever see their franchise cornerstone. Many insiders saw it as the moment the mask slipped. Clark was not being safeguarded. She was being handled. And if you know anything about great athletes, being managed is a certain way to lose them for good. Caitlin Clark is more than simply a player. She is a movement. From the moment she entered the league, the statistics painted a different picture than the standings. Ticket sales soared, jersey demand skyrocketed, the ratings for WNBA games have increased. Clark did not only show up, she brought a whole new wave of national attention with her. And Indiana, whether prepared or not, became the epicenter of the explosion. Despite the earnings, Clark has increasingly seemed to be a celebrity trapped by outdated ideas. Rather than being given the resources and space she needs to build her brand both on and off the court, she's being pushed into a system that treats her like a rental vehicle rather than a Ferrari. The gap is tremendous. You don't simply have a generational star like Clark. You build around her. You make her the center of your identity. Instead, the Fever attempted to retrofit her into an existing mold, one created long before she arrived. It's like trying to use an iPhone with software from the 1990s. From a business sense, it's an odd decision. Clark is solely responsible for improving Indiana's visibility in a saturated sports market. And if that level of economic effect is not met by front office empowerment and engagement, the message is clear. Your value is transactional rather than transformational. When a superstar feels like he or she is being utilized as a brand rather than building a legacy, they leave. They scale their possibilities. Behind every modern sports star, an architect works in the background. Lindsay Kagawa-Colas, a powerful agent with a vision that extends beyond a single player's career, is that architect for Caitlin Clark. And what she's putting together right now has the potential to completely transform the WNBA. In October 2024, the WNBA Players Association took a quiet but significant decision. They opted out of the existing collective bargaining agreement. That sets off a ticking clock, and Colas knows just what time it is. Renegotiations are about more than simply salary and travel enhancements. They want to rewrite the rules for player autonomy, and Clark's status in Indiana is Exhibit A in that case. Her public grievances, injury mismanagement, and inflexible role in a flawed system all serve as evidence in a bigger legal and cultural struggle. Colas isn't waiting until 2028 when Clark's rookie contract ends. She is laying the groundwork now. If she can use Clark's experience to reveal antiquated processes, she can make a case for earlier player mobility, more input in team fit, and a shift in the power dynamic between teams and players. Make no mistake, this isn't just about Caitlin. By 2026, almost 88% of projected WNBA All-Stars will be unrestricted free agents. Colas is presenting Clark not only as a player, but also as the prototype for a new model. A star who is not bound by a flawed system, but who leverages the system's weaknesses to compel structural reform. Indiana may have assumed they had picked a scorer. They received a trigger for revolution. The conflict between Caitlin Clark and the Indiana Fever isn't a one-time occurrence. It's a reflection of the WNBA's growing pains. The league is evolving quickly, new fans, new media partnerships, and increased investment. However, not every team is developing with it. Some organizations continue to use historical structures and archaic mentalities, such as viewing players as workers rather than partners. Clark's battle in Indiana is quickly becoming a cautionary tale about what happens when old systems collide with new stars. This is where it becomes even more crucial. The 2026 free agency period is shaping up to be the most transformative time in WNBA history, rather than merely a turbulent offseason. If Colas successfully weaponizes the CBA discussions to loosen player mobility and increase contract flexibility, Clark's case will be the spark that ignites the blaze. Every time she is mistreated, her grief is ignored, or her commercial worth is exploited without commensurate power, it adds gasoline to the flames. It sends a message to other gamers that they are not alone, and they do not have to tolerate it. Already the league's debate has shifted. You can see it in social media activity. Posts about Clark's discontent exceed typical game material. Fan sites are buzzing with conjecture not only about Clark's performance, but also about her future and what it represents. It's not only about basketball anymore. This is about agency, identity, power. Caitlin Clark is now modifying the rules of how the game is played, not simply the games themselves. Caitlin Clark has not sought a trade. She hasn't thrown a tantrum or made an ultimatum. However, in professional sports, the biggest signals are rarely uttered, but rather exhibited. They manifest in subtle on-court disappointments, in statements that go deeper than they seem. Agents appear in the right locations at the appropriate moments, and there's an obvious sense that one of the WNBA's brightest players is outgrowing the exact club designed to help her flourish. If Indiana thinks it still has authority, it has already lost the plot. Clark's leverage lies not just in her data, but also in her narrative. She does not need to destroy relationships. All she has to do is continue shining as the company stumbles. The contrast conveys the tale for her. And make no mistake, the league is watching, fans too. So are future stars. Caitlin Clark may be under contract, but the future she is creating is greater than any piece of paper. It's a road plan for how the WNBA must develop or risk falling behind the competition. Will Indiana adapt or become a footnote? That aspect is up to them,